What's up? It's your boy. Back with another one. What are we going to talk about today? Because I always say 1,000 different things we could talk about. But today, we're going to talk about, once again, another month, another mass shooter. Now, we all know this story in Chicago. I'm not going to give that coward the satisfaction of mentioning his name. Now, what did I say in previous videos? What's the profile of 99% of these mass shooters? Mentally ill, socialists, down with the occult, Satanists, lefties. Why am I always so hard on lefties? Because of them, that's why this country is being burned to the ground from within. Now, it's quite interesting that the shooter in Chicago, he had ties to Antifa. Remember that cowardly group? A bunch of white liberals running around, dressed in black and red. Some of them got pink hair, purple hair. As a matter of fact, the shooting in Chicago, he looked like a whole clown. Now, what's also interesting is that in one of his videos, he calls out to an FBI agent. Why is that a big deal? Well, if you look at the Buffalo shooter, he had ties to a retired FBI agent. You can go down the list. From January 6th to the plot in Michigan with the governor. You always see the FBI around. 9/11, they were there too. You can go down the list. Now, what's really interesting is that this coward, he believed he was a victim of mind control. Now, I always say that technology is 40, 50, 60, sometimes 70, 80 years ahead. If you consider what they really have, what they're really rolling out, mind control does exist. But let's go down that rabbit hole a little deeper. Now, you best believe when you have mind control that demons are in play. As a matter of fact, a lot of these psychotropic drugs open a doorway for the demons and the Satan to get into your head. I'm not talking about the ones who maybe they have a chemical imbalance in their head, in their brain. That happens. A lot of that could be alleviated by just eating healthier. Now, we all know food shortages, inflation, gas prices. But, oh yeah, you can't forget the border. A country without borders isn't a country. As a matter of fact, one of the few times the UN actually tells the truth is that the Texas border is the most dangerous border on the planet. You know what's number 2? Arizona. You got tens of thousands of deaths a year on both sides of the border between Mexico and the United States. Tens of thousands. It's much bigger than over 50 people in the back of a semi-truck roasting to death in a plot that looks like it's straight out the Cartel Coyote Handbook. That has human smuggling written all over it. Now, let's get back on topic. Another month, another mass shooter, right? You think we're done with this? You think we've actually experienced our worst mass shooting in history? No, because we live in a copycat society. One gang member starts on drive-bys, and it's nationwide. people start to speak the same language and pick up on the same catchphrases. Then you got mass shooters. Before, there was a thing called suicide by cop. Now that still happens, but these coward lefties figure that they're gonna go out in the blaze of glory. They're gonna hurt as many innocent people as they can. Now they're cowards. They would never ever stand up to a person by themselves. But that's what they are. That's what the left breeds. The left breeds pedos, Satanists, gang members, rapists, murderers. You can go down the list. Doesn't take much to be a lefty. In fact, the only effort you need, just be a dirtbag. Congratulations, you made it as a lefty. You never really achieve anything in your life, but you can call yourself a lefty. Where you can go from election to election, picking your favorite party, or being blind to the fact that the country's being burned down to the ground from within. Also blind to the fact that you're part of the problem. You think I'll ever let up on you lefties? No, I'm only just getting started. As a matter of fact, combined with my work on other social media outlets, yeah, it's safe to say I'm just getting started with you. By the time we get done, you will be known across the planet as public enemy number one. Mark my words. That's not a threat, that's a promise. And I always keep my promises. Now, you know lefties don't care about this country. They don't even care about themselves. Look at most of these clowns. You had a literal clown dressed up as a woman as he proceeded to kill 6 people and injure over 20 more. Now the death count will probably rise. Unfortunately, prayers and support to the families of the victims. You can't really pray for the dead, because once you're gone, you're gone. Only God knows your appointed time and place. Only God. The fact that he pulled such a heinous act on July 4th, that should show you right there how lefties really feel about this country. If y'all don't like it, why don't y'all leave? Why don't y'all leave? Go somewhere better. Oh yeah, there is nowhere better. In a place that is better, you're burning it to the ground. Because you're useful idiots. You're clowns, you're weak, you're nobodies, you're pathetic. You think you're part of the system, but the same system is meant to destroy you. You really think you got a special ticket, first class, on flight New World Order, on flight NWL, flight 187? That's not how it works. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. Now, once again, it's an example. The same was with Uvalde, the Parkland shooting, Columbine, the Boston bomber, where it could have been prevented. As a matter of fact, police have previously went to the shooter in Chicago's house. They took knives and swords. He illegally purchased a gun in Illinois to commit his crimes. Now, social media is being used also as a tool to program these animals. These people need help. As a matter of fact, some of these people, before they even commit heinous crimes, should be locked up. Oh, it's not constitutionally right or sound? Neither is walking to a school, a mall, a shopping center, a synagogue, a church, a baseball stadium, or any stadium or sporting event and committing these acts, as these lefties often do, and they will do more. Like I said, another month, another mass shooting. Now what's interesting is that over the July 4th weekend that you had 71 people shot. How come them deaths aren't reported? Oh yeah, it doesn't fit the agenda. The agenda is gun control. And after that, the agenda is, once they plan on taking the guns, is mass extermination of anybody that resists. Which gets us farther into the New World Order. In future videos, I'll talk about the transhumanism. You don't think it's strange? Hollywood pushing cyborg movies? Have you read some of their papers? Looked at their patents? Have you watched their interviews? I watched one recently, today in fact, where a lady was talking about she welcomes becoming a cyborg. And that's really the future where they want us headed, because you gotta remember, they're Satanists, and everything God does, Satan tries to duplicate, but he can never beat the real thing. God said, "Let there be life." They said, "I'll create life." They said, "I am bigger than the creator." But God doesn't like that. There is no one above God. As a matter of fact, that's how Satan got cast down from heaven. Now let me get back on topic a little bit before I end this video. As I was saying before, social media, you should look out for the signs. The red flags were all there, all in place. Why wasn't this guy reported? Matter of fact, who sold him the weapon illegally? Now, police were called to his house a couple times, as I referenced before. One was for a suicide attempt. Another was when he threatened to delete his family. And on the second time, cops confiscated 16 knives, a sword, and a dagger. Now, Illinois already had red flag laws before they recently signed this bogus one, unconstitutional one, into law. How did that work out? Did it prevent the shooting? No, it didn't. Does it prevent gang violence? No, it doesn't. Matter of fact, it empowers the criminals. As you can see, if somebody wants to use a weapon to commit a crime, if they're not sick in the head, they're going to find a way. In their head, it's by any means necessary. Now, I gotta retract a couple of things I said, because he legally purchased those firearms. It wasn't illegally, it was legally. 5 firearms. That's after the suicide attempt. That's after he threatened to delete his family. That's with already red flag laws on the books. Are you awake yet? Do you see the agenda? The agenda is gun control. How was that worked out for the world? Hundreds of millions dead as a result of gun control. That's something to think about as I end this video. That and the fact that these people often leave a trail of their sick, demented minds on social media, but somehow people didn't catch up on it. People aren't paying attention to it. His family knew he was a psycho. But what did they do? That's called being an enabler. We have a lot of enablers around in society. If you ignore the bad behavior, the obvious mental health issues, then you're an enabler. You're part of the problem. 9 times out of 10, you're most certainly a lefty. That's all I got. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace. I'm out.